Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back to your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we are going to be talking about Quant Network, aka QNT. So with that being said, let's just dive in and let's start off with the overall price chart. So in the last year, going all the way back to the summer of 2022, and I'll even go back a little bit here. So here we have the summer of 2022, even going all the way back to a little bit previous to 2021. We have that massive downtrend. We bottom out around roughly $44, and we just kind of trailed up, and now we're just trailing sideways. This whole move here, in my opinion, will be overshadowed by the next major move to the upside. Whether we go down a little bit more to the $90 or $80 level that we've been waiting for, right? This area here, about roughly, 90 some dollars. It doesn't really matter in my opinion. Anything under $100 I buy on QNT. Even sometimes over $100 I will accumulate. It doesn't matter to me as long as the chart is kind of just stabilized going sideways. The one thing that I've been waiting for is what Bitcoin is going to do next, because altcoins will most likely follow through with it. So if we do get a significant upside move to like 40K plus, altcoins will most likely follow. If we do get a push down to about like 27, 28K, then QNT will also follow that. If we do get that move, I am expecting anywhere between like $80 to $90. And if we do get that, I'm going to be buying heavily on QNT. And I told you guys this many times in the past. I recently bought at $97. It was my goal. I told you guys about it over on Twitter. We were able to buy. But as we look at what's happening right now, I want to talk to you guys about a significant innovation happening behind the scenes, as most people are not aware of this, right? CBDCs are happening. They are inevitable. I've talked about this many times on this channel. As we look at CBDCs and as we look at what Quant is doing, there's a significant change occurring around CBDCs and DLT. The problem is that Quant is crucial for this evolution. We do see from Gilbert Verdian, though, this was a big milestone announcement from Quant. Enterprises that want to transact on public blockchains are limited when dealing with crypto for gas and transaction fees. They face security threats, friction, and risk of asset losses when relying on signing and storing with MetaMask on an employee's machine. We've removed the friction completely, allowing enterprises to securely and safely transact with any public blockchain without the need to store, sign, or hold crypto for digital asset transactions, paving the way for tokenization of trillions of dollars of regulated assets by institutions to transact on any public chain and access new investors and liquidity. And here we have that announcement from Quant. Another milestone towards making blockchain simple, trusted, and future-proof. Our platform now allows you to circumvent the need for cryptocurrency during the token deployment stage. The reason why I'm actually very bullish on this is we've seen all of the documents around the IMF, the BIS, and so forth mentioning the fact that they don't want to have a large exposure to crypto, especially banks. Well, this allows you to still get exposure to crypto itself without having to hold a significant amount of the tokens, meaning it reduces crypto exposure, but they still are able to utilize the technology behind the scenes and even tokenize a ton of money through blockchain technology. I'm very excited for this because this is a significant door opening for the future of mass adoption around crypto. And then also over here, they do break it down in this whole article announcement. So another milestone towards making blockchain simple, trusted, and future-proof. Our platform now allows you to circumvent the need for cryptocurrency during the token deployment stage. Instead of having to hold cryptocurrency to pay for deployment gas fees, Overledger users can pay with platform credits, which are charged in fiat currency. So this is pretty exciting, and we do see how this will work after creating your token or when choosing quick deploy on Quant Connect. Our users can see two options for deployment: deploy with MetaMask and deploy with platform credits. By choosing to deploy with credits, you will use your platform credits and see the associated cost before proceeding. This way, you don't need to have cryptocurrency, nor do you need to connect to a virtual wallet. And of course, the image open over here, this is how it will all work. They do have the image down here, but it's way too small to actually see. Here you guys have the full image. So we do see create new token, intro, smart contract here, token details, summary, and deployment. And you can see blockchains, type of token, deployment type, deploy with MetaMask or platform credits. So this is pretty exciting. Listen, I do think that Overledger is the gateway for mass adoption through some significant names, like, for an example, enterprise, institutions, you name it. Also, Tokenizer posted this video over on Twitter as well. We do see straight from the BIS. Not Tokenizer, ISO 20022 posted the video. Tokenizer quoted it. straight from the BIS, we need to get different technologies to speak to each other. The messaging elements fundamental, QNT. Imagine there's a pair of currencies that don't have complementary demand. You need a third party to make this settlement happen, XRP. Yes, I believe that Quant and XRP, or if you will, QNT and XRP, will be vital for this. Quant and Ripple already are working with some very large names out there, exposing certain tokens to these major banks and enterprises. XRP is one of them. QNT is another one. And here we have Bank of International Settlements on how to solve CBDC interoperability, technical integration, liquidity of third-party currency, and regulatory requirements. Check this out. This is huge.
With this issue of exchange rates and interoperability, how do we get these digital currencies to really just talk to each other?
Yeah, that's a great question. And I think when we talk about interoperability, we can see it at least in 3 different levels. So the first level is how we manage domestic interoperability. So how we generate this digital currency solution and make this speak with the other things that are out there in a little bit in the idea of generating a platform so that everyone can connect to that platform and take advantage of the huge network externalities that we can get out of there. The second level is how do we manage cross-border transactions, even within the same currency. And that presents a certain level of challenges there. But when we talk about cross-currency and cross-border, then we face a completely difficult and different environment. And we can see 3 dimensions here. One is the technical dimension, so how we manage to get a system that speaks in a certain cryptographic language to speak with another that speaks another slightly different language. So that is one level of complexity. We need to get the technologies to speak to each other. The messaging element is fundamental. The second dimension, which is much more complicated to solve, so that one, the first one was the easy one, okay? And there is a lot of money that is being put in terms of trying to solve these technical issues of interoperability. Now, the second one is more complicated. It has to do with liquidity. So imagine that you have a pair of currencies for which there is not a complementary demand. You need to go and search for a third-party currency in order to make this settlement actually happen. And this really complicates things. So we need to put pieces of technology that can make more efficiency this use of liquidity so that more transactions can be settled. The third dimension, which is even more difficult than the previous one, is how do we manage to get homogeneity in terms of the policy requirements on different countries. And this becomes even more complicated when we think about, for example, AML-CFT and principles-based policies, and when we think about risk-based policies. We can code things that are very clearly stated, but when we're talking about principles-based regulation, this thing becomes really complicated, especially in an environment, as Tom said, in which 110 nations might have 110 different ways of looking at this. So we need work in these 3 dimensions: technology, liquidity, and also, and more importantly, probably in the policy side of things. Think about AML-CFT, but also think about privacy. Different countries have very different views on this, no?
And this is something that listen, I sound like an echo chamber at this point, right? I have been saying for the longest time, pay attention to these big organizations and the way that they are saying a few things. The terminology that they use, interoperability, liquidity, settlement. How can we do, third-party current, like how can we have liquidity of third-party currencies? How can we have, all this stuff tied into one? Like, when they do talk about this while having these trials around crypto and CBDCs and even the recent trials with Quant and the BIS, all of this proves to me that we are going to see a fundamental shift, and it's all going to be centered through blockchain and DLT. This market has been scrutinized for the last few years. I mean, you could argue since the inception, right? The big thing that I've always mentioned on this channel is that when they are telling you one thing, expect the opposite. When they tell you that crypto is not going to be utilized, that blockchain and DLT are garbage, guess what? That means they are looking into it, they see a fundamental change happening with it, they see the efficiencies, and they want to utilize it. We are seeing money change in real time. Over here, Celine Justice actually posted this. We need a new form of money a new form of money fit for the future. Sky News, together with the Bank of England, we're exploring potential designs for the digital pound. Jeremy Hunt says he wants to ensure that the UK is at the forefront of payments technology. Listen closely to this.
I want to make sure that we're at the forefront of payments technology. So I'm launching an independent review into the future of payments led by Joe Garner to help deliver the next generation of world-class retail payments, including looking at mobile payments. We're laying new legislation to give regulators the powers they need to reform rules on innovative payments and fintech services. And together with the Bank of England, we're exploring potential designs for the digital pound should we decide to introduce it.
And of course, right, going back to this video, we know that Quant and we know that Ripple are on the board of the Digital Pound Foundation, which is a think tank organization, but they are pushing forward on with a digital pound. Meanwhile, we need a new form of money fit for the future. Also, here is another video. Guess who liked this? Scroll down, Gilbert Verdian. Check this video out. This is 1 minute and 38 seconds long. As we do see what's happening, I strongly believe that Quant is spearheading this move with the Bank of England. And again, blockchain technology will be at the heart of it. I've said it many times that the exposure that Quant brings for this entire space through their work with a lot of these central banks, same with Ripple, is extremely crucial. And just recently, we've seen Gilbert Verdian post over on Twitter. Project Rosalind is a very complicated project creating the underlying infrastructure with Overledger and APIs. Literally, they're telling you this through this experiment. Iterating every week with code updates and shortlisting the appropriate use cases. All of this was accomplished for real-world CBDC use cases by banks, institutions, and fintechs who created their CBDC payment applications on the infrastructure and API. World leading with the invention of a new form of logic built into money that will automate complex workflows and create new types of payments and innovation. This demonstrated why and how a CBDC is different to electronic money in a real-world setting, needed by the industry and a digital society, and is an advanced and superior form of money fit for the future. And here you guys have domestic use case, cross-border use case as well. They have Rosalind down here under domestic use case, and we have increased complexity as well. Highlight it. Down here, we also see thank you to SunNL11 for the BIS report extract, and I do have that tweet over here from SunNL11. BIS put their 12 CBDC trials in a diagram. They rated Rosalind the highest level of complexity. QNT is built differently and makes the hardest form of interoperability easy, game-changing. Keep fading it, the world won't. And yes, this is happening in real time. Like, this is from the BIS. And here we have from the BIS, lots of third parties saying QNT fixed the hardest part of interoperability in a simple way. Don't trust people on Twitter, trust them. And here we have third and perhaps the most challenging facet of interoperability is cross-ledger support when different technologies and protocols are involved. And that is exactly what is being solved here through Quant. Quant is the gateway. I've said it many times. If you go over to Quant's website and you go to their platform and you scroll down and look at what their platform is doing for this entire space, all the way down here, this is one platform, less complexity, more freedom. By Quant solving the complex side of things, it is streamlining the process at which a lot of these networks, like for an example, if you look at RippleNet with XRP or even just the XRP ledger itself, it streamlines the idea of them both being utilized within the financial system through central banks and even bridging that gap that is needed in terms of interoperability between real-time gross settlement systems or even payment systems and allowing for direct plug and play with Ripple's payment solution. And the same goes for almost any other solution out there, like XDC, or even if you are a Bitcoin or Ethereum maxi, they're here as well. And you have Hyperledger Basu, Hyperledger Fabric, which is connected to Casper, Hedera, you name it. This is the key. This is the key to it all, and it's happening. And these experiments and things, these testing environments, they are all in real time. We're just waiting for things to go fully live. We still have a little bit of ways to go. Regulations are definitely the next obstacle. But I do believe that, you know, regulations will be solved. It's going to take a little bit of time, probably within the next 2 years. But I strongly believe that the future is crypto and blockchain technology and DLT, and we are going to be on the right side of history. I say that almost all the time on this channel. We are going to be in the history books in terms of those that were able to see the vision here. And I do believe that we will create extreme wealth from the space. Because again, we are early adopters. We are early investors. Do not let anyone tell you that you are not early. The only individuals that are not early into the space are the ones that are going out and buying Bitcoin right now. And the reason why I say that is because those that were going to get rich off of Bitcoin, they already got rich off of Bitcoin. The only people that are investing in Bitcoin today are people that are already rich and want to make much more money off of Bitcoin. That's why you see a lot of these Bitcoin maxis spreading all this nonsense about Bitcoin while, you know, completely talking down on every other project out there. They have to do this because they need more people to jump on the boat. Because guess what? The boat has slowed down in the last couple of years. Where all the money is made today is in the altcoin market. And if you can look past 99% of the garbage out there in this space and invest in that 1%, and I've talked about that 1% of tokens, you are going to truly, and I say it all the time on this channel, you are truly going to appreciate yourself being in this market right now, because now is the time to be in this market. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, to notifications on because more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. So it's up to you all. Have a beautiful day or a beautiful night wherever you guys are on this world. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.